Hi guys, Andreas Sonic Mainliner here with another Vinyl Finds video and VCLT edition as well. Vinyl Finds video and anyway, a VCLT edition Vinyl Finds video. That's what I wanted to say originally. So yeah, I guess I will start with the VCLT bit. So Roger sent me a message some time ago and he said that, well, you know, what's your address and whatnot, and I will send you something. And you know, I was like, you know what, you don't need to do that, it's fine. But he did go along and he did send me some things. He said you probably hate them, I don't know. Anyway, he wrote you know, a little note here, and he said that, well, basically sparking off that conversation we had on YouTube about, you know, modern jazz and whatnot, he thought that and he thinks that I'm a, you know, an adventurous listener. Well, not adventurous, but, you know, an open sort of listener. He, you know, he likes some music, and he thought that he would share that with me because it is like contemporary and it's like a little bit more interesting. And sure enough, he sent me 3 CDs. These 3 basically. So yes. And I've listened to all 3 of them, and I have to say that my favorite one is one that is mixed by none other than Roger himself, which is this one. And I'm not saying this because, you know, he mixed it and whatnot, and, you know, butter him up and all that kind of stuff. No, it's because I honestly like this one more than the other ones. Not to say that the other ones are bad. It's from Ingrid Laubrock, I guess, Anti-House, and out on Intact Records. And again, this is Ingrid Laubrock Octet, Zurich concert. This is recorded, when was it recorded? Now, from what you listen to the background, it is contemporary. As very rightly Roger said in his note to me, it is avant-garde-ish in a way. It is very artistic for sure, and it's very interesting as well. So yeah, I think that, you know, this one, Secret Keeper, Stefan, sorry, can't read. Stefan Crump, Mary Halvorson, at Zeitgeist Gallery, Nashville, 2013. This is a live recording. And Indeterminancies, sorry, yeah. I can't read apparently. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Anyway, yeah, this is my favorite one. So thank you very much, Roger. I really did enjoy them, and I need to send something back. I owe some VCLT to some people as well. I haven't forgotten, you know, but yeah, things are picking up, so I will be able to sort of yeah, get things moving along again. Anyway, 3 minutes. That was a VCLT part, and now we're going on to the Vinyl Finds. Again, I know the Vinyl Finds thing is not like really the best title, but, you know, I've stuck with it for like 5 years or whatnot, so, you know, what the hell, I'm not gonna change it now. So loads of things happened. Whoops, it's a little bit loads of things happened since my last video. We had the record store day. I don't know whether you went there. There were some records that I was interested in, but, you know, I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Prince died. I don't know, guys. I don't know about you guys, but to me, Prince means almost nothing. I know his hit songs, and people were like, "Oh my God, you know, Prince and whatnot," and it's like, you know, his music inspired me and whatnot. I have never met a single person that would say they're a Prince fan. I don't know about you, but I haven't. I genuinely haven't. And to be fairly honest, I'm not very familiar with his music either. I know his hits, you know, stuff that made the top 10 back in the day, I guess. But other than that, that's it. I wanted to listen to Purple Rain because people have been saying that, oh yeah, this is like, you know, his masterpiece and blah, 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 whatever. But it's not on Spotify. You know, I won't prioritize that over something else that I want to buy. So, yeah, there you have it. Anyway, speaking of Prince and me not being very much affected by him, let's talk about David Bowie. Now, I've spoken about David Bowie before, and one of the things that I said was that David Bowie, I really like Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, and this is an amazing album, you know, top 10 albums or top 20, whatever albums anyway, that are essential anyway, in my opinion. You need to listen to it, and I really love it start to finish, but everything else is like a little bit like, meh, you know, I like the singles, but I don't like the albums. I tried listening to them. I own some albums as well, but I never got around to like really, you know, I never liked them. I don't know, never got into them. So he died, as you probably know already. I'm sorry if this is news to you and you're shocked, but yes, David Bowie died. And Lemmy died as well, my God. So anyway, yeah. And when he died, I started listening to Black Star, which I found compellingly good. I haven't bought it, but also in that sort of phase where I started enjoying Black Star, I also revisited some of his early stuff, and I found them quite compelling and quite good. So of that, I bought these. So, well, chronologically, I guess. Man Who Sold the World, Hunky Dory, and Aladdin Sane. So you might ask, Andreas, what are you doing, man? You said that you like Spiders from Mars and where is it? Well, I have a copy back home. It's a Ryko reissue that is like late 80s, early 90s, which is really good. So I don't need to reissue, you know, to get the reissue again. I mean, it doesn't matter. And also, showing these albums, I'll speak about these a little bit, so you can skip a little bit further if you're not interested. So there's this guy. He's Greek. Well, he's of Greek, you know, origin, I guess. Called Spinning Greek, and he usually comments on my channel. He has done some videos as well. Check him out. He's all right. So yeah, he's a good addition. Quality stuff. So. And he was saying that we were saying something about, oh yeah, you know, I'm not patient, and you know, patience is not like my virtue, something like that. And here's a good example of being patient. Now, obviously, you know, David Bowie died, and then, you know, record executives went ka-ching. Oh yeah, people will want to buy these. And sure enough, I mean, you know, even I got into the in the bandwagon, jumped on it, and just got 3 albums. So they were, you could pre-order them on Amazon, and the pre-order was £16, and I didn't buy them then. Then they got released, and they went up to £21, and I didn't buy them then. And then basically I was waiting until the price dropped, and these have been reissued. They were reissued like in 2015, exactly the same thing. So eventually the price dropped back to 18, and I didn't buy them then. And then the price went down to £13, and at that point I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm getting them. So patience does pay. There are cases that patience does not pay, and I will give you another example later in the video because I have that in mind. Anyway, the actual reissues, really well made. They are reproductions of the original. This is a really funny kind of addition. So this is like where the record is. It has, well, it says Bowie here. I guess that it used to say RCA. Maybe that was what the world's most boring label, by the way. I hate this label. I mean, I don't know. Terrible. It's like so unimaginative. And I'm not talking about the Bowie, you know, that they made it say Bowie here. It's like, it's nice. It's a nice touch. Because, you know, they wanted to reproduce the original RCA, I guess, or whatever. Anyway, this boring orange label. But yeah, so it has an insert, so you can read the lyrics if you don't, you know, if it's too fast for you. And now this is the interesting bit. It has the original inner sleeve. Like, it has nothing on it, but just added it. And so that you get it a little bit better, this is on The Man Who Sold the World. It actually has the original print as it came. So it's like, yeah, plastic bags can be dangerous. This is not a plastic bag, by the way. Avoid danger, something. I think that this is how plastic bags can be dangerous. That's bizarre. I thought that it would say something about, oh, your vinyl records. I didn't even pay attention to it, but anyway, I think that this is how it was, like, you know, was made as this like flappy thing. Anyway, pressing is really good. I don't have an original to compare it, so I don't know, but to my ears it sounds pretty good. The reproductions are really nice. Aladdin Sane is gatefold. I will never see this gatefold. And interestingly enough, it has a printed inner sleeve, which is proper, where you can actually put a record in, but the record is not in the sleeve. It's, yeah, interesting, don't you think? I've seen it done quite a few times in newly released records. I mean, the Baroness record is the same thing. It has like a proper printed sleeve, but they've put the record in a protective sleeve with, you know, polyethylene or whatever, you know, whatever that material is anyway. So yeah, here it is, just to show you. It's 12 minutes me talking bullshit. So yeah, it's like this, but where is it? Not crazy, am I? Oh, there you go. Printed inner sleeve, and here's where your record would go. Yeah, but they do that. Yeah. I'm not saying it's bad. Just saying that, you know. Anyway, we're paying premium for it, right? So anyway, so yes. So David Bowie died, as you know, which is very sad indeed. As I was saying, back in January, I started going back through his catalog. And and David Bowie is one of those artists that bugged me because people loved him, and I was like, yeah, well, you know what? I like some of his songs, but I don't like his albums. His albums are just, I didn't say terrible. I wouldn't say terrible. I wouldn't go as far as to say terrible, but I would say that they're not. I don't get them. I just don't understand what the fuss is about. And I sort of had to think, and I came to this conclusion, is that basically I am a very traditional sort of rock and roller. Well, not rock and roller, rock and roll fan, if you like. And David Bowie is not a musician. He's a musician, yeah, you know, here's the proof. He's a musician. He's you know, he has output. He has proper output, musical output, but he's not a musician. I mean, when, I don't know, Jimmy Page went on and made Led Zeppelin, he was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a band, I'm gonna play guitar and I'm gonna be, you know, on the stage and sell records and, you know, do drugs and, you know, and have groupies and all that kind of stuff. David Bowie was not like that. He was an accidental musician. He was an artist more than anything. He was artistic. He had his finger in a lot of pies. He did like mime, and you know, all this kind of thing came to me because with his passing, then there was a lot of information that was, you know, sort of resurfaced, I should say, and I had the opportunity to read about. And he's done a lot of things. I mean, you know, during his Ziggy Stardust period, he was doing kabuki theater and things that, and he was interested. He did mime before actually becoming a musician, and being a musician was just one vehicle for him to, you know, to convey his artistic expression and, you know, and get out his artistic output, if you like. He could have been something in any area of art. It could have been, you know, sculpture, it could have been dance, it could have been poetry, I don't know, anything. And as a result, he's not a pure rock and roll musician. And that is what has always been bugging me, I think, is that there are elements here that are not, he sort of fuses his rock and roll music with other things that are not rock and roll, they are not musical per se, or he just marries things that are not necessarily, you know, go together in order to create his own artistic vision, because he's driven by his artistic vision rather than, you know, the rock and roll vision or whatever. So that's what has been bugging me. I mean, you know, Aladdin Sane, the piano, this sort of demented and decadent sound that comes out, is like, it's not rock and roll. It's like, there's a little bit of like, you know, cabaret. I don't know. I cannot really put my finger on it, or, you know, just be able to convey it in the right way. For example, you know, you get like all these fantastic songs, really. Changes, Oh You Pretty Things, 8-line poem, Life on Mars. You get Cooks, right? And and Cooks is like a really good example of, you know, him being not necessarily cheeky, but, you know, being like a little bit out of cuff. And the other thing is that, you know, you get like a lot of progressive elements here as well. You know, on these albums, like, I don't know, All the Madmen. I mean, this more stuff than, you know, pure rock and roll sound. And when I'm saying rock and roll, I mean, you know, in a wider kind of sense. So that's what I haven't been able to sort of manage. I don't know. But having listened to these albums again, I have come to the conclusion that I do like them. Perhaps if I've listened to them a lot more when I was a lot younger, maybe David Bowie would have been a little bit different sort of level for me. And that's David Bowie. I've shown 3 albums and I spoke about them for like, I don't know, 30 minutes or something. So yes. Right. Yes. Enough of David Bowie. So I bought 3 albums from David Bowie. Record Store Day. So Record Store Day, as I said, there were a couple of releases that I was interested in. I didn't go and, you know, sit around record shops early in the morning and all that. I incidentally went by Rough Trade East at around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that. And, you know, I was passing by and I was like, you know what, yeah, I'll go in. And there was a bit of a queue. It was like 5 minutes, so it was like, it's all right. I thought that, you know, I wouldn't find anything, but I did. So I found one record. There were a few, but I was like, I don't want to spend the money, man. So I got me this. Now this is Arena. This is an Australian. I don't know whether it's a. Oh yeah, it is a private press that came out. That is being re-released by Roundhouse. Roundhouse has made some excellent reissues from Australia, and I saw this, and actually I've seen other people post it as well, and I was like, you know what, Roundhouse, maybe I should pick it up, and surely enough I did. 1976. I don't have a lot of other information. It's jazz, funk, electric sounds, Herbie Hancock's Headhunters. This is what it says here, and Mark Moulin's Placebo. So yeah, pause and read. So yeah, all right. So I came home, I put it on, and it's not entirely my bag. It's a little bit. It's that kind of electric funk that is. It sounds very thin. I cannot really explain it properly, but it's not entirely my bag. I think it's a little bit too funky, and I've said that before for other albums. It's a little bit too funky. I don't want my albums to be too funky. Yeah. That's Arena. I will reevaluate it. I mean, I've listened to it once and I was like, yeah, not entirely my bag. This one was, I bought it on RSD, but it's not an RSD release. It came out in 2015, and as you can see, Rough Trade votes it as one of the albums of the year 2015. This is Hills, and does it have Fried? Don't know. It's out on Rocket Recordings. Some of you may recognize Rocket Recordings from The Heads. So yeah, this is psychedelic, krautrockish, repetitive kind of psych. And it is one of the albums of the year of 2015. I didn't have the chance to buy it in 2015, so I bought it now. I had it on pre-order, or not pre-order, I had it ordered on Norman Records, and they were just like, yeah, well, we have ordered it. I've been waiting for a couple of months, and then I found it, and I bought it on Rough Trade. Recommended, check it out, really good album. Yeah. Some stuff that I've got online. Sonic Youth, Sister, their third album, I want to say. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember which album it is. This is the first album that this is my introduction to Sonic Youth. Basically, this was the first album I bought from Sonic Youth. I have a copy back home, which is a Greek pressing from 1988. When was this released? 1988, I think. Anyway. Yeah, I have an original Greek pressing, which is alright. I mean, you know, it's cool. But I always wanted to have a US press of it because, you know, US band, US press, and I got a US reissue. It hasn't been reissued in like on vinyl anyway in ages apparently. It was reissued 3-4 years ago or something like that. And the reissues for this album were just mega expensive, so it just didn't make any sense. This is out on Goofing, it sounds really good, and you know, it's one of my favorite albums from, well, this and Goo, I guess, from Sonic Youth, basically because it's the first album that, you know, I've listened, first Sonic Youth album, so yeah, there you go. And reissues. Yeah, well, a couple of reissues. Roger was showing this. Yeah, this is Ulver and Berkat et Eventyr I 5 Kapiteler. I killed it. I murdered that, I know that. And basically, What it means, it's enchantment, if memory serves me right, because it has a booklet in there and it says stuff about the album. Hang on, I can get it because I am. Oh yeah, it has more albums that you can buy, which is quite nice. I like this. I like stuff like that. Yay. Yeah, there you go. So yeah. Oh yeah, Spellbound. Spellbound, a tale in five segments or something like that. Oh yeah, there you go. So Bertgat and all the rest of it means Spellbound, a folk tale in 5 parts. There you go. And yes, this is the Ulver's first album. Yeah, first album. And it is black metal. It has a lot of folky sounds. I mean, just listen to the first one, Capital 1, first chapter. Yeah, fuck it. I'm not gonna just listen to this one. I mean, yeah, it is metal, but it has these folky Nordic sort of chanting kind of thing, which just uplifts the whole thing. There's like proper black metal with blast beats and all that kind of stuff in other songs, but it's just so unique. Their second album is like completely folky, yeah, and the third one is, I think it's like pure black metal, but this is my favorite one, and I'm so glad that they reissued it, and it's mega good. And if you're interested in the genre, you should get this album. And that's all I have to say. Yeah. Get it while you can, because I don't know whether it's going to be around for long. Another reissue that, well, not reissue, this is a proper release actually, which is quite rare, but for me anyway, for this channel anyway. So this is a proper release, and it's but it's unreleased material, so that's why. So this is Harmonia, and this is Documents 1975, which is unreleased live recordings, and it came out originally on the box set. But what's the point of buying that box set? Because everybody has already bought the myriad of releases, reissues of the individual albums, and this was the the bonus material, I think. And damn, it's good. You can get it for $9.99 on Amazon. Everybody else has it for £16 for some reason. I have no idea why. And this is damn good. Highly recommended. Do check it out. Harmonia. Documents 1975. Reissue time. Flying Saucer Attack. Oh yes. 20th anniversary vinyl press. Further. Droned out psychedelic rural psychedelia. I don't know what to call it really, but there's a lot of drony sounds, and it's just an absolute classic. Originals go for a lot of money, and they reissued all 3 albums, Further, Distance, and I don't remember which one is the other one. But yeah, highly recommended. Do check it out if you're interested in that kind of stuff. And yeah, nothing else to say really. And now, 28 minutes, but I will go to 35 if need be for Spinning Greek, the time that it doesn't pay to be patient. So there has been a reissue recently of Trad Gras Och Stenar, a 6 LP box set. Trad Gras Och Stenar was psychedelic band from Sweden, and they sort of their first before they became Trad Gras Och Stenar, they were Parson Sounds. Now, Parson Sounds, they have a box set. There is a box set out there, which is a 3LP, previously unreleased material, which has been around for ages. It was originally reissued in 2003 on CD, then 2005 they put out 3,000 vinyl copies, box sets, and you can find it. It's out there, and it's a masterpiece. It's amazing. I've shown it before. Highly recommended album if you're into psychedelia. Fantastic, and you can still get it. So when the Tradgrass Ochtsteiner reissue came out, I was like, it was £70. It was like, all right, you know what, I can wait. I'll wait for next month. I mean, who knows Tradgrass Ochtsteiner? And it was 1,000 copies, and I was like, you know what, if Parson Sound has been around for this long, then this album will be around for this long as well. It won't get any cheaper potentially, but it will still be there. And it vanished. It's gone. Everything that was available for £70, nothing. The cheapest you can get it right now, it's £130 or something. So that's gone. I'm going to get the CD because of that. So didn't pay. And same thing happened with another album, which I did get. So at some point I was browsing Boomcat, and they were like, oh yeah, this is like a new release. It's from Them Like Stairs, somebody, I don't remember. Them Like, yeah, it's like Them Like is like Them Like Stairs, like a label, and they have done like various reissues and whatnot, and they put out some weird electronic stuff. Some of it is good, some of it is like, I don't care. But yeah, and they were like, oh yeah, we rediscovered this this lost masterpiece, and all that kind of stuff. And this was the album. I don't cut a long story short. It's called Orior, and it's the album is called Strange Beauty 2LP set. Basically, what happened was that the guy from Them Likes there found a track of this guy on a compilation from Vinyl on Demand that do like weird experimentals, 80s, electronic, industrial releases, whatever, and they've done a lot. And in one of their compilations, one of his tracks was here, Oreos. He's British, so they tracked him down, and he was like, oh yeah man, you have this album, we want to reissue it, blah blah. Like, there was a single basically, and he only had one single, and he was like, oh yeah, by the way, I have all these tapes. And they took all these tapes and they put them here. The sound is like Helden, so it's electronic, it's soundscapey, it's really good. It's really good. And I listened to it because you can listen to it on Boomcat, and I was like, you know what, this is good. Them Likes their releases usually don't sell out, and I'll wait for it. And it was gone. However, now I've shown it already, so there's no mystery there. However, what they did do on Boomcat is that they spoke with the guy, the Orior guy, and apparently he had the original releases that he didn't sell. So this is the single from 1978, and he had a box of them apparently, and they put it on the site to sell them. And I bought one immediately. They had 130 of them, from what I understood, and they were gone. So I didn't wait on it. But then it was bugging me because I was like, I want this album. I want it. God damn it. And yeah, I went to the third page of the Google search results, and I did find a copy on Rough Trade, and I bought it from there. So there you go. So yeah, sometimes patience doesn't pay. So yeah, 34 minutes, and that is the end of the video. So if you stuck with me this long, I mean, good for you. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. You know, it's this part of the video where you can sort of do what you want. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. Leave a comment if you know, you have something to say, good, bad. You know, I accept bad language. I don't have a problem with it. You know, and I always respond. If you leave a comment with bad language, I will probably respond with bad language. So yeah, and you can, you know, if this is the kind of thing that you like, subscribe, or you know, if you think it's utter rubbish and I'm wasting your time, unsubscribe. And that's it. And until next time,